Hello, I'm Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz August 19, 2016 at 3:24 a.m. Birmingham. Topic, Jerusalem, Israel. Where will they be at that moment of the rapture of the church? I'll keep knocking stuff off my desk. Where will they be during the time that the people will start taking the mark of the beast and so forth? What will they be doing? And I'm sure you all have noticed one major thing. The whole Middle East, they're terrified of Israel. Israel's one bad ass country. And it is their God that protects the Jews, their land that God gave them. And they are protected. Now, there will be a short time, unfortunately, when the temple is desecrated. At that very moment, here's what's going to happen. The Muslim world will see that whoever they have in charge, or rather, whoever they had in charge says, this man's in charge, so he's in my place. Anyway, he'll be the Antichrist, and he will be seated in the tabernacle. He'll be in the temple. He will desecrate the temple. And at that moment, why is it that the Muslims will just go absolutely ape crap? Why? And what will happen to the Jews? Because that very second, keep in mind, they're under a new 7-year peace treaty. And they're just barely getting into the 3.5-year point, the midpoint of it. The second, and it has to be almost like on the hour, midway in the tribulation, the Antichrist will be seated in the temple of God, tabernacle of David. And right then, although the cities, unwalled villages, there's no protection, they don't even have their weapons with them. They're all put up. They're promised peace. But that second, those, the Palestinians, those who live alongside the Lebanese, the Egyptians, those who live alongside the Jews will instantly, something will break in their brain. They will instantly go after the Jews. Sadly, a lot of them will be killed, a lot of them. God will tell them, and has already told them, look, this is going to happen. If you're on the house, whatever reason, if they're cleaning the gutters or just patchwork, he said, don't come down to go inside the house. He said, get down and head, and he will tell them where to go, which will probably be Petra. It's in Jordan. If you're in the field working, do not take a thing from the field. Drop everything you're doing and run. Do not go to your home. Run. He tells them all And I think they all hear him audibly at that time. Run, run. And they will cut off 2/3 of the Jews. And you can figure that. You say if they have 9,000 9 million Jews, I don't know how many will be there, but say it, 6 million Jews will be cut off. The women will be ravaged and raped. Houses will be burned. The men will be tortured and killed. And the children, probably a similar fate for them. But the third that got out in time will flee to Petra, and they will be guarded by Michael. Michael will herd them out to Petra, where he will stand guard. Now, for some crazy reason, for the next 3.5 years, the Antichrist and the false prophet have merged, more or less. The false prophet gives to the Antichrist, or Antichrist gives to the false prophet to make inanimate objects move. So they'll make something, if they built Bashan or the bull or something, they'll make it move and speak. And they'll make it out of gold or silver or bronze or whatever they make it out of. But the image, they'll make the image, and the image will speak, and they'll think, oh, this has got to be God. He's doing this. But no, this is the only time that Satan will be allowed to do this, just for this much time. But for the next 3.5 years, there'll be sporadic fighting here and there. There won't be a lot going on, but you'll have a continued buildup of a great military that's right there in Israel. And less than 2 hours away sits 3 million Jews. But they're just not thinking about it. Satan would love to kill every last one of them, but he's not thinking about it. And at the end of that 7-year period, 2 things happens. You have great armies that starts marching, and they'll cross the river Euphrates, meaning it has dried up. That is the kings of the east. So you're talking about all Asian countries, probably including India. And they will group, and they're going to go and fight Satan, the Antichrist, in that army. And whatever comes out of that depends, you have to be saved in order to come out of it. But I'm not sure if any of them, if many at all, will come out of that. But they will come and they will fight. There will be a huge war. And in the meanwhile, a group of them takes off, and it's like hits the Antichrist. Oh, I know where they are. They're at Petra. So he'll head to Petra. Yeah, well, mistake. Because not only can God just one swipe wipe them all out, Jesus, when he comes down before his feet touches the ground, they're dead. And the Jews that are there, they're saved. Every personnel on all fields at war that day will drop dead. And the beasts of the air, they'll come down, they'll have a great feast. In Israel, 2/3 were cut off, but it does not mean 2/3 of them went to hell. I pray for that every single day. I pray, God, the 2/3 that are cut off, please don't condemn them. I think that God is so just that during the time that they are being cut off, they will come to Christ. I believe it in all my heart, every bit of it. Anyway, I'll make a shorter one of these and then I'll remove this later. Jody Wolf, Expoz.